back to my channel, and I am doing the long-awaited Q&A that's been going on for ages and I haven't got around to doing it. So I am doing a Q&A. So those of you that popped a question on the post I put on, I have got your answers. I am going to make this a two-part video because I don't want it to be too long. It gets a bit boring, you know, watch a couple and think, oh, can't be bothered to watch anymore. So I will make it a two-part. So if you don't like a longer one, it's all right. If you do like a longer one, then you've got the second part you can watch. However, I'm going to start this video or this vlog with showing you what's in this box. Do you know what's in this box? So I was contacted by Luisa, and they asked me to check out their website because they sell some jewellery. Now, I am not the biggest jewellery person, but the only reason I'm not the biggest jewellery person is I've got 3 children, we've got our own house. I've recently given up my job, as you'll know if you watch me, because my legs are bad and dealing with 3 kids, school holidays, blah, blah, blah. So the last thing I spend my money on is myself, generally. So I don't buy a lot of jewellery for that reason, and my jewellery is for birthdays, things like that. So when they asked me to have a look at their website, which was jewellery, I was like, oh, I'd love to. And I have seen a couple of other vloggers mention their jewellery, and I've really liked what I've seen. So I had a look, and they asked me if I would like to choose 3 pieces from their website, which I was over the moon with. I was like, yes, please. So I had a look on their website. All the details will be down below in the description box. If you use the link that I provide you, you will get a discount code when you purchase. And you can probably tell, you can probably see one of the things already that I'm wearing, which is on my ears. But yeah, let me just show you. So I had them arrive in this box. They were really well packaged. They weren't like flying around in a bag. They were really tightly packed. And then inside the box then there was a little card, and it says thank you. And it also says the company name, and it's saying that this is 100% recyclable. Now, this company is 100% carbon neutral. They are really good for the planet, where they can recycle any materials, like the metals, they will. And yeah, let me just show you. They come in these really cool little bags. They don't come just thrown in the box. They come in these like little canvas bags with their name on the bottom, Luisa. But yeah, they really, and they've got poppers on them, so they're not just flapped over, they're poppered shut. So when you're not wearing this jewellery, obviously you've got a little pouch to keep it in, which will stop them oxidising and things like that, and stop them getting scratched. Now, the first item I'm going to show you is this lovely necklace. Now, my star sign is Cancer, and Cancer star sign is obviously a crab. So I chose a necklace. I'm not one for wearing a lot of necklaces. I tend to wear a necklace when I go out on a special occasion, if I go out for a meal, things like that. And it is, you can see there, the crab on there. It is super shiny. It's got a really delicate chain, and it's also got loops on it if you've got a smaller neck. I've got quite a big neck. I never used to have a neck, if you'll know, if you watched my videos. My neck was non-existent, but it's come out to play now, which is more of a reason I can wear a necklace. Now, my nails are long, so this might be a bit fiddly getting it on. Hang on. I haven't got my man here to put it on for me. He's in work. But let's give it a go. Hang on. Let me just straighten that out. 2 seconds. Da, da, da. That's it. The crab is only on the one side. The other side is just plain. And then to show you closer, it's really well engraved. It's really clear as well. I don't know if you can see on there. It's not poorly engraved. It's really pretty and cute. Obviously everybody will know that that's my star sign when I'm wearing it. What are Cancers known for? I'm not really into astronomy and star signs. Are they known as being grumpy? Right. See how easy I did get that on myself? So this is it on my neck. Obviously, if you've got a slightly smaller neck, it will hang slightly longer. But if you want more of a choker type necklace, you can maybe put it on a shorter setting. This is the length that I would like it, if not longer. I wouldn't want it any shorter than this. But how pretty is that? Lovely. So I was really pleased with that. I will put the pictures up here of the items that I've had and the prices that they are. They're really reasonably priced for what they are. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at what else we've got. So I have written a few notes on here because I have had a good look at their website. Now, they are a team that is based in New York, and then their items are crafted in factories that are dotted about in many places. The main thing for me that attracted me is that items are nickel free. Now, I've mentioned in some of my other videos when I don't really wear earrings for the fact that I have to have proper earrings. And when I say proper earrings, I mean nickel free. As soon as I put a pair of cheap earrings on, I'm like this within seconds. I'm like, oh my God, they're really itchy. And then if I go out on a night out, I take them out because by the end of the night, I've got really, really sore ears. Now, I put these in this morning, about 4 hours ago, and they are absolutely perfect. Now, these earrings are little keys. Maybe this is going to be the key to my success or my weight loss. You never know. But they are super cute. They're literally like little keys. And do you know what these would be an ideal gift for? If you know someone who is purchasing a new home, or they've got a new property, a new flat they're renting or something, that would make an ideal gift, like the new key, new start, new key, even key to weight loss. But yeah, they're really, really thick as well. I don't know if you can see. They're not flimsy, and they're like on a hinge to put them in your ear. I'll just show you now. I'll open the back up. Can you see their hinge there? Right there, there's a hinge, and then they just clip in really, really easy, and they feel really tight on the ear as well. They don't feel like they're going to unclip. And that is them from the side. And then you can get these in the gold as well, the gold plated, but I prefer silver. Most things I prefer in silver, but I do wear the odd gold thing. But yeah, how pretty are those? Again, I'll put the picture up there, but I really like those, and because they're so comfy on my ears, I can feel me having these in and probably having these maybe as my main earrings for now. But yeah, I'm really pleased with those. Love them. So they are nickel free, like I said. They're also hypoallergenic, which is all really good things. And they don't just cater for females, they cater for all genders. And you can get items personalized. I didn't obviously go for a personalised item on this occasion, but if one of my friends was having a birthday or Mother's Day, things like that, you can have a nice little engraved bit on them. So they are gold plated. So if some things that are gold plated can get a little bit dull after you've worn them for quite a while, all you need to do is get a soft cloth, give them a gentle wipe over, and they will come back to their original shine. So yeah. Also, keeping them in these bags that they're provided in will also help keep them to the best of their ability. No, these will help keep them shiny, and they'll also stop them from getting scratched, because this is obviously like a plate, and if you stick that in with all your other jewellery and expect it to look as good as new, it's not. You're going to scratch it and things. So keeping it in this little wallet pouch will stop it from getting mixed up with any of your other items. So what else did I get? My third item I got from Ana Luisa is this lovely bracelet. Now this is really delicate, and I don't tend to go for delicate things because I've always been a bigger person. I tend to go for bigger, chunkier things. I don't know why, just always have. But I thought, as I'm losing weight, I'll go for something nice and delicate. And I got this lovely bracelet with a diamante little disc on it. It's got, I don't know if you can see it. It's got like little diamantes, and it's really sparkly. It catches the light. And then you can have that on different settings if you've got a shorter wrist. It's got a really chunky clasp. Yeah, I really do like that. It feels quite posh in all this jewellery. So I think that I will be even purchasing some of these myself. Well, actually, I won't be. Warren will be. I'll be saying to him, "Oh, it's Mother's Day soon. Can I have this? Can I have that?" But yeah, Mother's Day is coming up, and I think any mother, me being a mother myself, I would be super, super pleased to receive any of the jewellery on their website. There's a ring on there that I quite fancied, so I'll tell him more about that when he comes home. Yeah, Mother's Days, birthdays, anniversaries, anything like that. Brilliant. So please check them out. It was a lovely gentleman, Daniel, that I've been dealing with. He was really helpful. So I imagine if you've got any questions whatsoever, just pop a question to them and they'll come back to you really quickly with anything you need to know. Don't forget, use my link in the description and you will get a lovely discount at the checkout. And that is my review on Ana Luisa. So thanks again, Ana Luisa, for sending me these lovely pieces of jewellery. You will be seeing these featuring in my videos because I will be wearing them. They're not going to be put away and never worn. And I think my earrings will be my most worn bits of jewellery. So yeah, that is my little review, and we're going to get on to the Q&A and answer your lovely questions. So get a coffee, get a Coke, whatever you want to drink, or even a water. Take a seat and let's get on with the Q&A. So I have written down all the questions that were asked in the Q&A, for quite a few. A couple of them I mentioned in my last Q&A, but that was quite a long time ago, so I will recap any. So like I said, I don't want to keep this long and boring because some of my videos can be quite long, maybe boring for some of you. So, question 1. Michelle Pierce said, would I consider doing cookery vlogs? Yes, I would. Very much so, do cookery videos. I always wanted to be a chef when I was in school. However, I always have a memory of my mother saying to me, don't be a chef or you'll be fat. Because I wasn't really fat in school. And all I am now is, I'm not a chef, but I'm fat. So I just as well have been a chef. But no, I really do like cooking. I like presenting my food nicely. I'm sure some of you will think my food looks lovely. Some of you may not, but I like it. And I think you eat with your eyes. And I think if your food looks nice, it also tastes nicer, bizarrely. So, yes, definitely we'll be doing cookery vlogs. Have I mentioned I'm having a new kitchen? Yeah, I can't wait. Woo. But yeah, I've waited. We've been in this house 15 years, nearly 16. And it was a new build. We bought it. And It's got the same kitchen. And yes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a white high gloss kitchen, but it's starting to get old and tired. And I've had a new hob and a new oven recently, so I'm keeping them. But yeah, I do my cookery, or my main cookery vlogs once my new kitchen's in. He did say 6 to 8 weeks, whether that is a true 6 to 8 weeks. But that time's flying, so that'll be in no time. And it shouldn't take weeks to do. It probably only take him about a week, if that, because we're not having anything restructured. We're just having like an extra breakfast bar across our window so the kids can sit there at the window and have something to eat. And we're having some units on one wall that's currently got nothing on it. It's just bare wall. So yes, I will be doing some recipe videos, and I'm also thinking of doing a meatless Monday. And if I do a meatless Monday, then I will obviously video the recipe that I do for our main meal then on a Monday, included in with the daily vlog. So yes, the answer to that basically is yes. Long-winded way of saying it, but yes, that is. Right, Susan Davis says she likes my son's names and wondered if any reason behind them, like family names, etc. So, names. Now, I am a bit weird, as in, maybe I'm not that normal, because the names I was coming up with when the kids were in my tummies were mental. And the girls in work were like, are you for real? You're going to call your kid that? I had names like Hunter, Gunner, Ace. We'll stop there. They were the sort of names I had. Anyway, when I was pregnant with Mackenzie, we decided on the name Reese. So Mackenzie was going to be called Reese all the way along. And then my friend's sister had a little boy and called him Mackenzie. And I'd never really heard of the name Mackenzie before. And I was like, oh, Mackenzie, I really like Mackenzie. So I said to her, enjoy Mackenzie. And he was like, yeah, it's all right. So we just stuck to Mackenzie then. So Mackenzie is Mackenzie because someone else had a baby and I like the name. So Mackenzie's got a middle name of Michael. Now my dad is called Michael, or shall I say was called Michael, because my dad is no longer with us. He never got to see any grandchildren, mine or my sister's kids. He never got to see them because he passed away when he was 54. Neither of us were married when he passed away, so that's quite sad really. But I thought I'll give my first child, as long as it was going to be a boy, my father's name. So Mackenzie is Mackenzie Michael, and yeah, that's the reasoning, with his names. Now Jackson, we always liked Jackson, but we wanted to be a little bit different in the way we spell it, and there's about, I would say, 10% of people spell it the right way. The others spell it like the surname, and it doesn't bother me that people misspell it, but we spell it Jackson, where most people will spell it as Jackson. So yeah, Jackson is Jackson. And then his middle name is Warren's father's middle name, because Warren's side of the family, their middle names tend to be Robert. So Warren asked if we could have Robert to keep up with the family tradition on that side. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So here's Jackson Robert. Unfortunately, Warren's father, we had Jackson, and 9 days after Jackson was born, we rang his father to say that Jackson had been born, because Warren's mother had passed away nearly a year before. She only got to meet Mackenzie. And we rang up to tell him that Jackson had been born, and 9 days later, he hadn't seen him because they're in Manchester, we're in Wales. He sadly passed away and never got to see Jackson. So, yeah, that's the reason in between his name. Now, Dexter is Dexter because Warren really liked the name Dexter. He said, can we have Dexter? And I was like, Dexter. Yeah, all right then. I think there's a program, isn't there, about a naughty boy called Dexter? Or there should be if there isn't, because Dexter, oh, you know Dexter though, guys. Dexter's Dexter. He suits his name, I think. And there's no other Dexters in school, which I think is great. There's no other Mackenzies in school, so that's good. There's no other Dexters in the school, but I think Jackson, there's 2 or 3 Jacksons, so that must have been a popular name when he was born. Now, my side of the family, on my mother's side, all of the men are called Jim. James, Jim. My mum's Scottish, although she doesn't sound it. She totally lost her twang. So, like my Uncle James, then my granddad was James, my cousin's James. James runs in the family. So, with Dexter, I thought we would add in James to keep up with that tradition. So, all their middle names have a meaning towards our families, but their first names aren't family orientated. They're just names that we liked. So, that is the answer to that one. Got them all written in my book. So, next question. Lucy Gale. Is there a job I'd like to do? She's got a couple on here, so I'll start with. Is there a job I'd like to do? Well, I'm a qualified hairdresser. When I left school, I wanted to be a midwife. And I needed certain qualifications to be a midwife, and basically I didn't want to work hard and get those qualifications, so I couldn't be a midwife, which when I look back now I think, oh, if only I'd gone to college and done that, I could have been a midwife. So I chose hairdressing because I had all the qualifications that were needed. So hairdressing, I did hairdressing. I worked in Reigate in Surrey in a place called Cut Above, which I believe is no longer there. I won ladies champion, ladies cut and blow dry champion. Our boss used to like us doing competitions, and I came first back in the day. I think I was about 18 then. Yeah, so I've done that. But with regards to a job I'd like to do, I'd like to be that person on the end of the phone that you ring up when you think you've won the lottery and they check your ticket and they say, yeah, you've won. I'd like to do that. I'd never do it though. But my job at the moment is being a mother. Not really a job, I know. But I really like the job I was in. I was in customer service. I didn't like the job as in customers. I loved where I worked. I do miss it now. I've not gone. I miss the banter we had there. I miss the girls because all of them, not one of them wasn't my friends. We were all friends. It was a really good team. And never say never. You know, I might go back one day and say, is there any jobs for me? But for now, my job is staying at home, vlogging my life. That's basically it. Well, vlogging's not a job for me. It's just a hobby. Keeps me on track. But that would be good if it did become a job one day, wouldn't it? But yeah, so that's that. She's also asked my favourite food, sweet and savoury. Well, I don't really have a favourite as such. I have such a variety of food. If you watch what I eat in a day, I eat loads of different stuff. And to say my favourite, I would say, at the moment, I would say my favourite sweet thing is them gourmet lollies. I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. Get to Poundland if you want them because they're 50p at the moment. So sweet-wise, that is my favourite thing. And with regards to sweets, I'm more of a sweet person than a chocolate person. As in, I would rather sit down with a bag of gummy sweets and things like that rather than a bar of dairy milk, if you know what I mean. Savoury. My favourite savoury thing. I don't know. I really don't know what my favourite savoury thing is. A favourite savoury meal of ours is burger in a bowl. But because I'm more of a sweet tooth than a savoury, I don't know if I've got a favourite savoury thing. Years ago, we lived opposite a Chinese. It was so convenient. We lived in a flat in West Drayton. I'd met Warren, and within days I'd moved in with him. He was like, "You want to move in?" I was like, "Yeah, thanks very much." Opposite, anyway, it was the best Chinese ever. Can't even remember the name of it. It was so long ago. They did the world's best beef. It was like beef and honey. No, beef and onions in like a honey sauce, which obviously the sweet side of me was kicking in. Oh my God, it was the best ever. Do you know what? I'd even contemplate driving past there and getting one if they're still there next time I'm down that way. And the last question, what makes it hard to maintain my weight? What does make it hard? Loads of things make it hard. I think, do you know what? I'm either there or I'm there. I'm either so good you can't budge me, which I am at the moment. Not a crumb goes past my lips that I don't count. Or I'm down there where I will eat absolutely anything. Anything and everything I will eat that's not nailed down. Even things I don't even like. And then I think to myself, why have you eaten that? It might be someone that's, I always said I'm not an emotional eater, but it might be someone that's, say, done my head in, someone that's been horrible, although I don't take much notice of that. It might be, well, it used to be when I'd come in from work, if I'd had a bad day in work, and I'd be like, right, go eat something now. And then you'd eat that one thing and then think, oh, I've blown it. Eat another thing. But to maintain my weight, I don't find it hard when my head is in the right place. When that switch is flicked, and you all know about these switches, guys, if you've got a switch in your head and it's flicked on, you will lose weight. You will consistently lose weight. You will go day by day by day, and you will get more and more motivated, and you will stick to it, and you will stand on them scales on your weigh day, and you will come down and down and down. You'll chip away and get down. When that switch is the other way and it's turned off, you won't care what you eat. You won't care what the calories are. You won't even look at the calories or the sins, whatever diet you're doing, and you'll just binge. And binging is something I used to do all the time. I have not had one binge since starting back dieting in last week of December. Haven't had one bad day. There was one day when I had chocolate, which I did count, and I still had enough calories left for something to eat for my tea, but I had more chocolate than I would have. That was one day, and that didn't send me into then a binge then, because my mindset's totally changed. So, yeah, so maintaining, maintaining is hard. You've just got to have the right mentality up here, and if that's hard. I mean, people struggle all the time. I mean, Tracy Mouse lately, she's finding it really difficult, and all that weight she's lost, and people still find it hard. So it just goes to show you don't be a fat person, lose weight, get thin, and then you're cured of eating the rubbish food and the bad things for you. It's a lifetime. I am never, ever, ever, ever going to be a person that can diet, right, I'm at the weight I want to be now, let's carry on. Because I'll just end up back here instead of down here. So, yeah. That's the answer to that one. Right, Kerry Betton. Judging by our accents, we are not from Wales. Where are you both from? Did we meet? And how did we end up? Oh, where did we meet and how did we end up in Wales? So, I am English. Don't hold that against me, anyone in Wales. I'm English, and Warren, Warren's English as well, but he's a Mancunian. He's from Manchester. So basically, I was living in a place called Merstham. A lot of you probably won't know that. It's near Red Hill, Reigate. It's about 20 minutes from Gatwick, and I was doing hairdressing down there. Now, we used to always go out on a weeknight, well, most weeknights and weekends. We used to go to a place called the Game Bird. Loved it there. There was strippers, there was men, you know, we were young and after men, and we all had minis. Our first cars were minis, so we all used to meet up in our minis and we'd go to the Game Bird. Now, we were there one night and I did have a boyfriend at the time, you know. But he was a lot older than me. Bit of a bore ass, but he was my boyfriend, you know. And we were down at this thing and we bumped into a group of lads. And we got talking and stuff, and we ended up back in their hotel. I no, not for any of that thing. They were just staying in a hotel because they were on a course. They were all working at British Airways, and they'd come down to Hawley, I think it was, on a course from Heathrow. So we went back, and they were like, "Oh," he said, "Karen, he said we've got this mate, Warren, and you'd love him." And I was like, "I've got a boyfriend. Excuse me, I've got a boyfriend." And they were like, "Oh, please meet him. Come and meet him." And I was like, "No, I've got a boyfriend." My friends were like, "Oh, go on, meet him." So I was like, "Oh, God's sake. All right then, if you insist." So a couple of days later, they brought Warren down. Now, he was standing at the bar when we went in, because I was like, oh, God, walked in behind my friends, you know, as you do. They go in first. And they were like, oh, you know, that's Warren. And I remember thinking, Jesus Christ, stay on him. He had long hair to here, blonde, curly hair. I even remember what he was wearing. He had jeans on and he had this burgundy top. And it had Wild Goose written across the front of it. And I just thought to myself, as soon as I seen him, I thought, I don't like you. You can sod off. Anyway, he was like, "Oh yeah, do you want a drink?" I was like, "Yeah, Diet Coke, please." Anyway, I wasn't being that friendly. But he was trying his best. So we ended up back at the hotel again. Again, you know, only there for the drinks and that. And he was like, "Oh, come and sit on my knee." Fucking hell. I wasn't that heavy at the time. I think I was about size 16 back then. "Come sit on my knee." So I was like, "Oh, better show me." And I always remember he could obviously sense I was being a miserable twat. And he said to me, "Oh, you fish face" or something. Well, anyway, I burst out laughing. And we just seemed to click from there. Don't ask me why. My initial reaction to him was, fucking hell, he's horrible. But we just clicked and got on. And literally days later, he was like, "Should we get married? Do you want to move in with me?" I was like, "What?" Well, me being like what was I? 17, 18? And he was like 26. He's 9 years older than me. And I was like, go on then. I never had this romantic being whisked off to Dubai, proposal on the beach, things like that. He was like, "Oh, should we get married then?" I was just like, go on then. 13 years later, got married. But yeah, so I moved in with him. Don't think my mother was very pleased because I was like, "Oh, I've met this bloke, I'm moving out." And she was like, "What?" So I moved into his flat. And then he obviously went back to work and whatnot. And then he said to me, "Oh, you don't have to work." He said, stay at home. And I was like, "I just qualified as hairdresser." Because I was then travelling from West Drayton to Reigate every day on the motorway in my little Mini, conked out in the rain. And he was like, "Yeah, give up work and move up," he said, and stay with me. So I was like, "Oh, all right then." So I handed my notice in, moved up with him, and I didn't work for a couple of years. But literally, we'd known each other, I'd say, 3 weeks. I'd given up my job, blah, blah, blah. And he said to me, "Works asked me if I want to move to Wales." And I was like, "What? Move to Wales?" He was like, "Yeah," he said. "We can either call it a day," he said, "or," he said, "come with me and we'll buy a house and we'll make a go of it and see what happens." I had nothing to lose, just given up my job, had nothing to keep me there. Obviously, my parents were there. My father was alive at the time. So I was like, go on then. Again, my mother was like, "You're moving to Wales?" "Oh, for God's sake, you're only 18. Anyway, I did it. And we bought our first house. And here we are, 30 years on. And it only seems like yesterday that we were in the Game Bird. That's no longer the Game Bird. It's now called Hot Air Balloon, I think. But yeah, that's how we met, and that's how we ended up in Wales. And then 13 years later, my mother was like, oh, for God's sake, you're not going to get married? And I was like, well, yeah, we are. So we got married in Cowbridge, and I was in my long wedding dress with my fat ass, because I was quite big when I got married. I did wear a dress and everything. I got married. We went to the Caribbean on our honeymoon, which was great because we drove. We flew first class because Warren was working for BA, so we got seats. And then on the way back, his friend, who's a pilot, who was one of the guys that asked me to meet Warren, he then arranged with, I don't know how he done it, but he arranged for us to get in first. We had a tannoy call out in the airport to Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, because we were married then, to come to the desk, and we were escorted on, and it was fabulous. But being big then, I didn't have to worry about it because I had my own massive seat in first class. But the thing with that is, flying over, you're sitting there now, it was quite a long flight. All these people are going up, getting stuff, and I'm like, sitting there, biting my nails. We had dinner that we chose, which came on a china and silver cutlery, and it was like, get in. 10 minutes before we land, I discovered there was only a massive friggin' larder behind me, full of nuts, crisps, cakes. Missed out on that, didn't I? I didn't on the way home, mind. I knew it was there. But, yeah, that's our love story, if you call it. But yeah, that's how we met. We're still together. We're like a flipping old pair of socks. Well, we don't leave each other, although saying that, there's so many odd socks in this house. But, yeah, we're like soulmates. We piss each other off. We love each other. I think he loves me more than I love him at times, you know. Gets on my tits. But, yeah, we'll always be together until one of us leaves the earth. Which I hope it's not going to be for a while yet. So that's how we ended up in Wales. And that brings this vlog to an end, because I will save the rest of the questions for part 2. Now, don't forget this lovely jewellery that I showed you. The details are going to be in the description box. Oh, good, she knows now. I'm still sitting here itch-free, no itching. So I will stick all the details on. There will be a link down below, like I said. And don't forget, don't just purchase them for you, even though it's nice to treat you. Treat your loved ones. And don't forget, Mother's Day is only around the corner. And if you order soon, you should get them in time, plenty of time, because these were really quick. It seemed like no longer, you know, did I say I wanted this, this and this? A couple of days later, they were at my door. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, everything will be linked below. Use my link for the discount code. And if you're going to be putting makeup on, spraying perfume, going swimming, having a shower, take them off before you do all that, just so that they stay super nice and shiny. So I will see you in the next one, and I will see you on part 2, which will be up shortly. Bye, guys.